So hi, welcome to the Noise Podcast. I'm Shane,
I'm Glory.
and we're here with,
Simon.
Alex from Incase We Crash.
and we're asking some questions today about their new single Anniversary. I'm going to start, so congrats on that. By the way, guys, how do you feel about the response to it so far?
Thank you. Yeah, it's pretty exciting. I feel like as the world returns to somewhat more normal, it's nice to put more music out into the world, and I think everybody's response is correlated with how happy they are in other areas of their life, being able to do stuff. So that's great.
Hell yeah.
Mhm.
Song bangs,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, for sure. We tried some new songs, tried some new things on the song with the video as well. We're stoked to put it out. Stoked people are liking it.
Hell yeah.
So true.
Mhm.
So, is there any meaning behind the single name or cover art?
Pardon, I didn't quite catch the first half of that.
Is there any meaning behind the single name or cover art? Sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first of all, like the name of the song is it's part of the whole like theme of the song. But it's about reflection too. Like you could say like an anniversary is a point of reflection, and the meaning of the song is just about self-reflection and trying to open up to more experiences in life and let people inside of your personal realm.
Mhm.
And yeah, and then the artwork I think is just more related to our visual themes that we've been developing, and just trying to invoke some nostalgia and just some more film photography vibes, because I feel like everything's a bit too digital these days. So I'm just trying to give people a little bit of a refreshing perspective.
Okay.
Just like a personal touch to connect to us a bit better.
Fair enough. So can you tell us a little bit about your writing process for the single?
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, like since everybody's been inside for almost 2 years, like we did everything pretty remotely. I usually come up with like a shell of a song that has like basic arrangement and some ideas and stuff. And then I bring the other guys in and we kind of like over Zoom or Skype, we kind of like expand on the ideas that are already there. We tweak some stuff until we feel satisfied with the song. And then we take it and we record it. And in this case, I was the one who recorded it. So that was a lot of fun.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, I want you to tell us your favorite lyric off of this track and the meaning behind it.
For sure. I'll go first, I guess. In the second verse of the song, it starts off by saying, like, I guess I had an epiphany and I started worrying about who I should be and how I should start to change my ways, or I'll find myself in lonely days. And I think that just definitely just summarizes the song very well, how it's, talking about self-reflection and trying to be a better person and allow more people into your life, or else you'll be lonely and such. So I think for me, that's like the lyric that I really attach to in that song.
Yeah, I think to me it's like the one in the bridge that says nothing else matters, but nothing else matters. Just live for today.
Mhm.
Because I don't know, just the way Simon sings it, it hits me so hard every time. And it's just about like capturing experiences and experiencing life in the moment, not like being somewhere else, or like the concerts, you're like on the phone, but you're not really there. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's like the whole lyric, and like the video also, that's what it is about for me.
Okay.
That's good.
So where's your headspace at while you guys were creating the single?
Yeah, it's hard to say because like I think we even started working on this stuff before I think even like our Soul Paint EP came out. We had that done, like the Soul Paint EP done for a while ago, right? Like from way back 2018. So we just had a lot of time to like write, to reflect, and really think about where we want to go with our music. And so we wanted it to sound as authentically us. And I had to be at the helm producing it, and like we tried to build a sound from the ground up rather than some producers might have a very cookie cutter sound.
Yeah.
So by putting ourselves in that headspace, we were able to really just like piece by piece just decide everything. Like we want this to sound like this, we want to have it progress like this, we want to do things our own way. And I think that really came across in the authenticity of the track.
Definitely.
Sure.
Yeah.
Anything to add, Alex?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I agree with that. It was nice because before we feel like we worked with producers, and I worked with producers privately. It was nice to be like apart from the sound and kind of decide, okay, what do we want to be? And how do we want to like build it. And it was definitely like added a whole new level to the process, because I feel like when you're doing it with a producer, you're relying on a producer to kind of tell you, okay, this part is good, this part sucks, and kind of finalize those tracks and give it a final touch. But here you have to kind of be like both producer and the songwriter, especially Simon, I imagine, because he's the one who mixed those songs too. And he's kind of like, he always puts together the main shell. But it also feels like more accomplishing for me, because we did it ourselves and we didn't have to have anyone to help us, and we can just make music ourselves all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's definitely like an achievement to have, now that you have the ability to just make your music yourself now and not kind of like rely or lean on anybody. That's huge.
It's cheaper too.
Yeah, that's
well, yeah, I mean, it's a very expensive industry, and I think, you know, it's also liberating, because, you know, as a lot of bands, like, if you don't have that option, like, you're very limited in what you can do, and then you might find yourself falling into some sort of a label trap where you know, the only way you can make music is by having a label pay for it, but then they own everything, and it's just you know, it opens up a window of more opportunity and just more like self sustenance. You know, we're kind of self-sustaining. So yeah, it's just it's a modern industry, which is great.
Oh yeah,
100%. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So how do you recommend your listeners to check out this track for the first time? Should they put it on a car with friends? Should they put on some headphones, turn off the lights, listen to it in the dark? Should they play it at a party? Is it a workout track? What do you guys recommend?
It's definitely like a low key, like, I think it's a by yourself kind of track. That's probably like first and foremost, where you can really listen to everything going on and you could hear yourself in the song and reflect on your own experiences in your life, and maybe hopefully it'll open your mentality up to, you know, letting more people into your life and making the most out of like personal relationships and such. So I'd say, yeah, like alone, maybe headphones, or you know, if you're on a nice walk, I think that's like a good circumstance.
To me, it's like when you're like on the road trip alone, just like driving to see your friends in like the fall, and you put out that song where you're like on the way to see them, kind of like by yourself driving.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
So it's a fall track then.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like a fall or summery track.
End of summer to me. End of summer to me, like, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just as like the song is a bit of like a transition for us, it's also a transition between, it's kind of like a seasonal transition kind of song, you know,
Okay.
change and whatnot.
I love that. I love it so much.
So this question should be super, super quick. Off the top of your heads, I want you to describe the single for new listeners in 3 words. No more, no less. Both of you have to do it.
Sorry, I didn't quite get describe the singles what?
In 3 words. No more, no less.
Describe the influence?
The single.
No, the single. The single itself in 3 words.
Oh, okay. Reflective, uplifting,
Mhm.
and emotional.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I would say the vibe, and then emotional as well.
Well, yo, you can't steal my word. Come
You
on.
can't steal yours. Okay. I guess like self-discovery kind of thing. Self-discovery, openness.
Ooh, okay.
Very good.
Yep.
Perfect.
That's good. I love those. So is there a certain feeling or emotion you want this track to invoke in your listeners?
Yeah, definitely like self-reflective and kind of self-awareness, right? Like we're too often unaware of how our own actions influence the people around us and influence what we might think, like, you know, like, why is it everybody else's fault? Or like, why is everybody else like this? Why don't people hang out with me, et cetera, right? And we don't often enough like question our own actions and how they've
Simon, you froze.
You know, nobody really do anything in this life. Sorry. As I was saying, yeah, if you didn't catch that, we don't question our own actions often enough. And really, like, you know, people don't owe us anything. But if you just put your best foot forward and always try to make the most of the things, like, you'll really like find better relationships, find better enjoyment out of life. So I think that's probably my headspace.
Yeah, I think I wanted to actually add to that. Yeah, like there was a point where I felt like, okay, everyone's like changing and none of my friends like kind of belong to me. And like all it kind of took to change that was just like put myself out there and open up more. And then I found people who have similar mindset to me and who I became friends with. And it's all like life is all constantly changing. But I think like if you don't put yourself out there, you won't find people who connect to you.
For sure. Yeah.
Mhm.
So what band artist influence you think you can hear the most on this track?
Like what other artists? It's hard to say. Like I said, we really tried to like start from like our own formula here. Like we tried not to look at any other band, but we just did what we felt comes actually. But that being said, like I mean, also from feedback from a lot of people, it seems like obviously Story So Far influence is pretty heavy on there. A lot of people are saying it's Knuckle Puck. So I would also
Somebody
agree.
online said today it sounds like a mix of the starting line and the Story So Far, and I can kind of hear that.
Okay.
I get
Yeah,
that.
and those bands are obviously like big influences for us. So that makes the most sense, I'd say.
Oh.
Sounds good. So for this question, I want you to picture you're on tour. You're at a gas station. You're going in. What is your snack of choice?
Nothing. That stuff's poison.
No, come on. You have to pick something like grapes. Like, come
I
on.
will get like a trail mix and all dressed chips. I don't know if you know what that is.
Oh, all
Those
dressed
are
chips are
Canadian.
so fucking good.
They're amazing.
So fucking good.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like other instances where we have like been at a gas station and I'm like, oh, what do I get? I'm hungry. I think like a granola bar or like one of those kind of like protein bars that are not too sugary, hopefully. Not probably that.
All right.
And
Okay.
I'm gonna be the exact opposite of Simon and get something that's like unhealthy for me.
Exactly. Yeah.
The polar opposites. So where do you
Oh,
guys?
don't forget. Sorry, Alex would also get a thing of Gatorade, but
Yeah, I will
Wait,
get a
what
blue
color?
Gatorade. I will get
Blue?
a blue. Yeah.
Mhm. Taste.
So where do you guys see the band in the next 5 years?
I mean, we can hope for the best. Of course, we want to be pushing this as far as we can go and to like the greatest heights that we can achieve. But at the end of the day, like what I'm really committed to is always putting forward like our best music and really honing our craft, doing everything as much as we can ourselves, and just like being an all-encompassing like act. So we don't like so if you step into our realm, our music, you like there's a vision, there's aesthetics, there's videos. It doesn't really feel like we're competing for out of like all the noise out there. Like you just if you want to listen to us, you step into our world. You can listen from albums to albums, front to back. And I think rather more just that we're creating the art that we want to be, and that we're getting better at making songs in 5 years, and hopefully touring more and to greater extents. But we'll take whatever bit of success we can get, and we'll be grateful for it along the way.
I just want to make people feel like I felt as a teenager discovering my favorite bands and like going to shows and what that feeling like brought me, and how it like helped me find like friends or people that I felt like I belong with where I didn't have those people. I want to do that, but for other people. And I don't know, my personal goal is I want to do a full US tour in like within like a year or two.
Okay.
It's amazing. All right. So for these last couple questions, we're going to shift away from music, if that's okay with you guys.
Oh yeah, it's all good. We talk about music all the time, so it's fun to talk about other stuff like humans,
So we're actually going to go straight to death row.
Boom.
So if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
A nice bowl of authentic ramen with I mean, it's like that would be my last food meal. If it was my last drink, it'd be something completely different that doesn't go with the meal. It'd be like a nice espresso, like a double espresso with some sparkling water on the side. If it had to be all one meal, a nice bowl of ramen and some buble.
Yeah.
I would get like a huge burrito. Probably like shrimp mixed with like sweet potato mixed. Just an amazing burrito, like the best burrito ever in my life. And then I will get like bubble tea.
Oh, yeah, so true. It's a great
Good
choice.
answers. So if you could live in one fiction world for a week, where would you live?
Fictional world.
Or maybe Marvel Universe. That just sounds fun, you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
I'm thinking something from like an anime. I'm trying to think which one. I mean, I think the Naruto world's pretty sick, and that would fulfill my childhood dreams if I was, Or Pokemon. What am I saying? Pokemon. Duh.
Yeah, Pokemon.
Oh
for
yeah,
sure.
that's like my second choice. Yeah, I mean that. I feel like all of us love Pokemon, so
Of course.
Yeah.
So I have the honor of asking the last question. Every single person we've spoken to has actually said it is the most important question.
Mhm.
What is your favorite color?
green. Even though I'm wearing blue, blue is like my second favorite.
Yeah.
Green is sick.
You know, I have a hard time picking favorites of anything. This is me. I love a lot of things equally. I like since I'm like a guitar nut, I love like a tobacco sunburst kind of color.
Mm-hmm.
That stuff, it just invokes happiness
Yeah.
whenever I see it. So I'd say that like a guitar tobacco sunburst finish as a color, even though it's a multitude of colors. It's like 3 or 4 in one.
Everything you think about just links to guitars, essentially.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Guitars are life. What can I say?
So as Gloria said, that is all the questions we have today. Is there anything that you guys would like to plug?
I mean, our new song, if anybody's listening and they haven't had a chance to check it out, please do. It's called Anniversary. You can find it YouTube, Spotify, or anywhere else that you listen to music. And I'm sure if you like pop punk and everything going on, you will enjoy this song.
We're also playing the comeback show, our first in like over a year and a half in Toronto at Sneaky D's on November 5th. So if you're in your area, come hang out. We're going to be playing our EP in full. So it's going to be a good time.
Hell yeah.
So
All
exciting.
Well, thank you for now, guys. This has been In Case We Crash, and we have been the Good Noise Podcast.